Good evening, good night, wherever you are. Good morning doesn't matter. Why? Because it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, so it's not gonna be morning here. Just saying. But guys, welcome back to Miss Phins. I know this morning we had a great show on the Miss Phins show every morning, weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern till 9. Sometimes we go a little over, but hey, it is what it is. Guys, on your way in, thank you so much for joining. You know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe. Why? We got to get the likes up, people. We got to share. We got to subscribe. Everybody on Twitter, Twitch, thank you so much for joining Miss Fitz tonight, the After Hours show. So it's our weekly Wednesday night show. If you're new to this Wednesday night show, welcome. It's a partnership that we're doing here with the one, the only, which I'll introduce in a second. So give me a minute, people. But yeah, guys, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Wednesday night. You can find Miss Fitz here, and you can also find the individuals I'm going to talk about in just a second. But as per usual, people, you should already know. Hit the like button and subscribe, guys. We're so close to 400. Let's make it happen, people. I mean, I want to see the likes up. I want to see the subscriptions. That's all we ask. Why? Because it really does help the channel. And we're trying to get to 1,000 so we can go ahead and unlock Miss Fans. Okay, people? So right now, I'm going to introduce to you guys. I mean, if you don't know him, I get it. You must be new to the scene. Welcome. But you should definitely know who I'm about to introduce here. Every week nights, we do host a show. We were doing it on this channel. Now we're doing it here. The one, the only, you could say one of the original kings of Dolphins YouTube. I mean, I know I do. And also, you know, I call him my mentor too because he inspired me to do this. So, technically pushed me off the nest and say, you're doing it. And then I said, okay, we're doing it. So, guys, the one, the only, Titty Fist Talk. How you doing, Titty?
I'm, I'm good.
Yeah.
You you a mess.
Hey, we
Oh
like
my
to keep it
gosh.
light. We like to have fun here.
No,
Yeah.
I'm loving the background and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on upgrading things and kind of give it its own. You see, in the morning show, we upgraded. We got an intro. Now I'm working on the intro here. The two
Nice.
series that I'm bringing out, they're gonna have their intro, and that's literally what's taking me the longest, which is why I haven't released it yet. But I should have it by the end of the week. Fingers
Awesome.
crossed. So, but how you doing, Titty? Good evening.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just kicking back, trying to enjoy these days off, I guess, in Dolphin Nation. Even though, we're still putting out content. But just everybody's off the vacation. I guess we don't get one, but we kind of do. I'm trying to steal one, so we'll see.
I know exactly right. Yeah, no, they luckily get a whole month or maybe like 5 weeks.
I hope
We
they're
get
working. I hope they're working.
seriously, which is what we talked about this morning, honestly, because like McDaniel said in his the fish tank with OJ McDuffie and the other dude, because don't ask me, I forgot his name. Yeah, Mike McDaniel, that's what he said, guys. You gotta come back ready day one for training camp. Not
Hmm.
get ready in training camp, but day one. So I'm for it. I'm for it. But listen, we're going to talk about a few things today. I'm actually very excited.
Awesome.
This recently came out, so I want to go ahead and start off with this before we go over a few other stuff. But I don't know if you know this gentleman. I think he's been part of the Dolphins. Very, very important man. If you don't know who this is, guys, number 54. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, people. I really don't know what to tell you. But yes, that was Zach Thomas. And why am I bringing him up? Because I was, scrolling through, and I like to consume content like you do, TD.
Hmm.
And Brian Urlacher gave him some props over at the Pat McAfee show this afternoon.
Yeah,
And I was very excited. What did you think about that? Did you get a chance to catch that clip?
that wasn't the first time he's done that.
It wasn't.
He's been speaking about Zach for quite some time now. And
Really?
basically, the end of the day, he's just basically saying he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been so long. At this point, this man needs to be in the Hall of Fame. But one thing that I actually took off from this was the fact that he said that Zach literally has either the same or better stats than him and Ray and other guys that, in that realm. So to me, I don't know how I feel about these people. And they kind of went
Mm.
over who is making these decisions because clearly they need to change their mind.
Well, I actually feel like the Pro Bowl, like getting in the Pro Bowl, it's kind of fair. I know a lot of people disagree with that. I think Zach Thomas is right on the borderline. I think Zach Thomas, I mean, he could get in, but it'll be by this, a hair, or he just gonna always be right on that outside, literally at the doorsteps, touching the door, not being able to get in. Comparing him to Urlacher is a great comparison, but there is no comparison when you get into the postseason.
Yeah. I mean, he made it to the Super Bowl. He didn't win it, but he still made it to the Super Bowls, and that's huge.
And that's part of the problem. I've always stuck with this rule, whether it be the NBA or NFL. Can you tell the story of the league without this individual? Can you tell the NFL story without mentioning this individual? And I'm sorry, you could. You could
Wow,
tell the
really?
NFL story without mentioning them. You could almost tell the NFL story without mentioning Urlacher, other than the fact that you have to mention that Bears defense and who led the way in it. So that's why Urlacher gets into the Hall of Fame with his stats because of his postseason resume and the notary that defense got, and everybody knew who those guys were. Zach Thomas was just little old Zach Thomas in Miami.
Yeah.
Balling, but just Zach Thomas in Miami. There is a threshold for Hall of Famers. There is a certain level of numbers you need to achieve as a basis.
Like the minimum, bare
At
minimum.
the minimum. And unfortunately, when you look at Hall of Famers, Zach misses that threshold. Urlacher misses that threshold. The problem is, if you don't meet that threshold but you're close, you have to have either postseason success to where you gain notoriety, or you have to exceed that threshold by like 10% almost, like over the top. That's why I always tell people about Jason Taylor. How many sacks did Jason Taylor have? 1-4. How many? Let me look it up. It's either 142 or 119.
I got one. Hold on, I have it here because he's literally my favorite player. Dolphins, like obviously everybody loves Marino. He's the
139
man,
and a half.
there you go. So practically 140.
140, right? The threshold to be a Hall of Fame defensive end is 120 if you had postseason success. Jason Taylor had to get the 140 to get in the Hall of Fame. Had Jason Taylor had 120, he would not be in the Hall of Fame. He would not be in. But when you go look at the baseline for most defensive ends, it's somewhere around 120. But those guys also have playoff success. If you're not going to have playoff success, you got to exceed the threshold to stand above in your group. And that's the situation that Zach Thomas is running into.
Oh, man. But I'm looking at some of these guys and I'm just like, this is what I don't want to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. As a Dolphin fan, what I don't want to happen is let me see if I'm say this right. Most after they died, they get in. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
I mean, he's young enough. He's young enough.
Not necessarily. But, well, yeah, you're right, actually, because it could be 15 years from now. I don't want to put a date on Jason. Let me stop on Zach Thomas, but Zach Thomas.
We don't Oh no.
You know, whenever he's if one day when he leaves this earth, he may get in years after that, but the recognition of one of our old timers, you know. But let's be honest, you don't want to, and this isn't a knock on anybody that gets in that way. Respect to him, but yet,
Hmm.
you know, you don't want to get in that way.
No.
You want to enjoy your Hall of Fame status while you are here.
You want the glory. You want the fame. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you want to get it while you're still here? At least take a picture. You know what I mean? Not get it cropped in or photoshopped. Like,
yeah.
and that's. I hope that that doesn't happen with him. I'm hoping next year that actually these non football player writers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what Brian Urlacher. He's funny, but he pretty much said, yeah, the because Pat McAfee asked him what who are the ones electing these people. It's like, yeah, it's the people that have played their whole lives, pee-wee, high school, college, national. They're the ones picking. Psych. It's the
Mm.
people who never played. Like paper pushers, that's what I call them, paper pushers.
But these guys cover these teams though, and this is another thing that I say to Dolphin fans, right? You see, here's how you earn the Hall of Fame. This is why I do feel like it's fair to a degree. It's writers from every team. It's a writer from every team that votes, from my understanding. So certain writers that cover every team gets a vote, but they would have covered a team for a long time, right?
Hmm.
Here's what you have to realize: when you're voting, if you're a Dolphin writer that gets a vote, you know that guy over there in Seattle because he was a torment to your organization. You know that guy in Tampa Bay. You remember him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the problem is these beat writers don't remember Zach Thomas. He's another good linebacker, but at the end of the day, I didn't see him cause havoc versus our team in the playoffs. These beat writers remember you in the postseason. They remember what you did in the postseason more than anything because they're dialed in more of their opponent versus the regular season. So how do you get all the beat writers that's been doing it for 30-something years, who definitely were writing during your era, to remember you and remember you well? But they'll always have some other linebackers that they remember and they remember well. And Urlacher played around the same time, right?
Yeah.
But Urlacher, they'll remember because of that Chicago defense ran through the entire NFL and
Yeah.
wreaked havoc, right? And you remember the 4 or 5 staple players they had, led by Urlacher being one of the biggest leaders in it. So he got the popularity and familiarity because it was a great unit and they played in the postseason and caused some damage. But when you look at Zach Thomas, just another regular season guy that had a good game for his team, but the overall defense wasn't great. The overall defense didn't scare
Yeah.
you. You got to be able to be a part or create a unit. If you're not going to hit the stat threshold, you have to be able to literally be the ultimate dog to where ain't no other linebacker in the NFL compares to you to
So
get in the Hall of Fame. But obviously others did, like Urlacher and a few others.
it sounds like you're saying that Erlacher got that extra notch because of his team, not necessarily just because of him.
Well, yeah, but again, if it wasn't for Urlacher, some people would feel like they wouldn't have been as potent. So yeah, it has something to do with the team around you and the team success, but you were a major part of that success. So
Sure.
unfortunately, and I always say, our guys are always victims of being Dolphins. You could have Jason and Taylor and Zach Thomas, but who else did you have? Who
Yeah,
else
you're
did you
right.
have? And yeah, you had a few guys later in their career, you know, but you got to build a unit for these guys to get recognition. It's always a victim of the Miami Dolphins.
And that's the frustrating part because you would I guess we love our team like any fan that loves their team. They want
Yeah,
everybody
I
to
want them in.
to make it.
I want them
Um,
in, even if it's that barely. I want
exactly.
them in.
It's just it's still. I guess the day it does happen, because I truly believe it will happen. Man, that's gonna be one giant victory for all Dolphins fans.
Yeah, it's been 3 years now, Jolie, where everybody's T. Do you think Zach get in? No, and that ain't gonna change. I don't know why. Every year, Jolie, you can go back on my channel
Oh
right
God.
before the Hall of Fame, right before they announce. Go back to my channel every year on the same week. I got to do a whole stream explaining to people.
Why
No,
you
he ain't getting in. Do I want him in? Absolutely, but I'm just keeping it 1,000. He's not getting in.
you know what? It just hurts, man. It hurts. As a Dolphins fan, like you want your guys to get in, but I get
Maybe
it.
he'll
I
maybe
get it.
he'll get in the next 5 years at some point, because you also have to understand, as soon as this new era of player comes eligible, just look at the Brady rules back in '04 or something like that.
Hmm.
When guys from 2005 on start becoming eligible, then we'll look at it, because less defensive players at certain position may get in because you don't have as many greats, because the game doesn't allow you to be as nasty and gritty as they used to.
Donald is getting first ballot,
Yeah, well,
but
that's
he's
a
he's an
given.
exception to the
Yeah,
rule.
that's a give in. That's a give in. But when it's less defensive players that make it, because there's less defensive players that's great, like, you got to understand, there used to be 8 to 10 great players at every position every year back then.
Yeah.
But now on defense, you got 4 great corners a year, you know, 6 great D. I mean, it's not as many, because you can't do as much. You got to be careful hitting the quarterback. Some of these guys will have way more sacks if they didn't have to be as cautious. Some of these quarterbacks get away with looking like they're going down, but keep going and stuff. It's all kind of little things that the rules have done. So when less defensive players in the newer era get in, then he may be all right. Let's get Zach in.
I see what you mean. Honestly, at this point, I mean, we just can't wait. You know what I mean? We just can't wait. That's essentially, we're impatient.
You're gonna have to.
I know, and it hurts. But I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was really. It was the first time I ever seen Urlacher actually say it, and the way he said it,
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm just so upset. Like, this makes no sense to me." And I mean, hey, he is a Hall of Famer, beast.
It makes
So
sense. Let me tell you something. I got to kick back on Urlacher on this. It makes sense to him, but you know why it don't? He want to make it seem like it don't make sense to him, because he want to validate himself even more.
because he
Because
didn't
if
win
a
one,
guy like Zach with similar numbers is in, it's more validating for Urlacher. Because since Zach isn't in, it basically tells Urlacher you barely got in.
man, I never thought about it that way.
That's what it is.
So he's being selfish. I get it, Urlacher. I see it. I knew it. I
No,
knew it.
but he has a great respect for Zach, and he
No,
believes that he is a great player and belongs in the Hall of Fame. Many people agree with that. I agree, but I know what the criteria is. I know how they're judging it, and he ain't a Hall of Famer based off of how they do it.
so you automatically think that it's gonna, yeah. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see to,
I have to, yep.
for him. But all right, great. Well, Zach, prayers up, sir. We're waiting. We're waiting.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah, but listen, guys. I just want to reset real quick. We got more people in the building. You guys know what to do, guys. You already saw it. I'm not gonna put it again. Yes, I am. Hit the like button, guys, and subscribe. Okay. If it looks like this, or if it looks like this, hit it, guys.
Yes,
Once or
and
three
punch
times.
that like button.
That's it. Once or three times. That's it. Um, so, guys, seriously, like, get the likes up. But we need more subscriptions, guys. We expect more subscriptions tonight. again another awesome episode here with Miss Phins, obviously, and TD Phins Talk, just bringing you more awesome content. People, I just want to shout out everybody real quick in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. California, Clemente, welcome, guys. John D, Miss Fins, because I totally made a comment. King Mill, Justin, welcome. Scant Dollar, welcome. Q, Esther, Von Joe, thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate you. A Burgos, welcome. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Cat for Live, yes. TD, Jolie. Man, you guys, it's Miss Phins, people. Miss Phins. I gotta stay on brand. I'm trying to sell merch. You know what I mean? They're not buying, Jolie. They're buying Miss Phins. You know, help me out. But anyways, guys, as you know, go ahead and hit the like button, please. And share, like, subscribe, Twitter, Twitch. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as well. So, as far as the OTAs, I don't want to spend too long. They just happen. What do you overall think, to be honest with you, as far as the offense? Give me like a few bullet points on your overall idea of the offense from what you've seen, heard, go after reset.
We already know it all is going to depend on Tua. Um, we just got to watch this team go out on the field and perform. We're hopeful that they do. We hope that they play well. We hope that they ball out. But there's a lot of things to be excited about and a lot of things to be nervous about. We'll start with the nervous, and then I'll do the excitement last. That way people can stop saying I'm only negative. And hopefully they'll remember what's last,
Right?
which is the
For real.
positive. So the concerns are many in the offense. With the receiving core, is everybody going to stay happy spreading the ball around? Because to hear Tyreek saying that he was underutilized and things like that, that kind of worries me, that concerns me, because if he has expectations to be used more in Miami, I don't see where that's going to come from unless they just really want to stunt Waddle's growth. So,
Yeah,
or
much.
Gesicki. So I don't see where that's going to come from, but by all means, we'll see. But I've decided I'm not going to take much stock at all in what Tyreek said. I don't know if you've seen the tweet recently.
Not how recent, because I've been literally working all day. So
I'll pull it up right now.
pull it up.
Yeah, RG3 put on Twitter. He said Tyreek Hill has gone full Terrell Owens meme. That's my quarterback for this guy Tua. Tyreek knows Tua isn't Mahomes. Two different styles of play, and Mahomes has certified greatness. Tua is accurate, but at Cheetah is just tired of people going in on his QB, and I respect his support. And Tyreek replied to his tweet, finally someone gets the message. So basically, that's an admission that Tyreek is really just trying to have his back because everybody's attacking him. He's just trying to help Tua because everybody's attacking him. That's all it is. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Tyreek says at this point about Tua. He's just trying to protect him because everybody's beating up on him.
So you're saying we're reading too much into this?
Tyreek is saying that.
Okay,
not
Tyreek,
me.
we hear you.
He said finally someone gets the message. And RG3's message is Tyreek knows Tua isn't Mahomes. Two different styles of quarterback. Tua is accurate, but Tyreek is just tired of people going in on his QB, and I respect his support. That's all it is. He sees everybody attacking Tua, whether they right or wrong. He knows he has the power to come to his defense, and that's what he's doing. And nothing is wrong with that. I said on my channel the first time. I'm happy Tyreek's doing this. Support your guy, have his back, and that's what you're supposed to do.
So you're telling me
anybody who's making a true evaluation, you can't use what Tyreek's saying as true. He's just sticking up for his guy, and Tyreek admitted that by replying to RG3 saying, finally someone gets the message, which is, I'm just tired of people going in on Tua.
On my quarterback.
And that shows you he been sitting back watching people go in on him, and he minded his business. but he tired of it. So therefore, he came out and said, Tua that guy, man. Tua's accurate, man. He throws a good deep. Man, Tyreek didn't even seem confidently comfortable when he said it. It's almost like, man, Tua that guy, man. Man, he thought
Like he got
man,
paid to say it. Like he
no,
got, not that he
yeah, I
got paid,
mean,
but you know what I mean.
yeah, exactly. It's. I mean, at the end of the
Like
day, it
I'm
is what
getting
it is.
sponsored by this comment, so I gotta read this out so I
He
can get
did.
sponsored.
He did what he was supposed to do. But anybody who knows better, people around here, see, man, what? I'm supposed to believe anybody or I'm going to believe Tyreek? You believe your eyes. And we know what we see on the field. So at the end of the day, he put pressure on Tua. And I hope finally the pressure on him works. Maybe positive reinforcement with pressure is better than beating him up with pressure. So we'll see how that works this year. We hope
I think
so.
that's the Mickey D's effect, the Mike Daniel effect. I feel like that's what it is, because if you think about it, the way that he is, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody should be saying,
It's my quarterback.
yeah. Oh God,
Tyreek going full.
his full sponsorship, and this has been brought to you by he's my quarterback. I mean, hey, honestly, that's why not? And I think maybe Tyreek got a sense when he got here, how it's been, I guess, or at least portrayed in the media of how it's been in the Dolphins, that he maybe wants to change it up, like, or maybe even, I mean, think about this too. It could have been McDaniel just straight up telling him, like, hey, this is what we're trying with your quarterback when they first signed him, like, and is that good? Is that bad for his confidence? No, I just feel like there's nothing wrong with being, giving support. You know,
Mm-hmm.
is it too much? I just don't think. I don't want people to think that that's fake. He could be genuinely meaning it, just maybe not as extreme as some people are taking it, and as not extreme as some people take this.
He's going to have Tua's back. I mean, you got the clip of him at Tua's house. He's being invited over his house while a woman is there, and men usually don't. I don't know if that's Tua's girl or not or what, but men usually don't do that. That means they're building a relationship, and they're coming close and they're learning. Tyreek probably came over and basically watched some film with him and told him, hey, this is what I like. This is what I like to do. You can, and that's what you need. And hopefully those guys are on the same page and they click this year, because the thing that made Tyreek just as good in Kansas City is I noticed they start running option routes. But those option routes also come with a certain intuition between both players and their chemistry together to know what a defender's doing and what you should do in that situation and what you're thinking. Kelsey alluded to this in an interview. He said, this wasn't a part of the play, but we read each other's mind and we knew what I should do right here, which is totally opposite of the play. And Mahomes knew that and he anticipated it, and we connected, and I
But
moved
that
to
comes
that
with
spot.
time.
Yeah, so yeah, but that's the thing. We always talk about time. We always talk about they need some time to get chemistry. The unfortunate situation that we've been thrust into is the fact that Tua doesn't have time. He has
That's the
this year, and
problem.
that's it. And if he can't get it to work this year, I'm sorry. You offering Sean Payton 4 year, $100 million. Brady
That
ain't
was my
denying
next thing.
nothing.
Wait a segment, man. Sean
Yeah.
Payton, $100 million in 4 years. He'll be the highest paid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that John Gruden got $100 million for 10 years, 10 a year,
But
but
this is different.
25 million.
This
This
is
is
Stephen Ross saying, I don't care about profiting with the Dolphins. I got all the money that I need to make in my lifetime. Came into this venture saying I want to win a Super Bowl. I want to bring premier sports and entertainment to Miami. You already saw the racing,
yeah,
the
yeah. Formula One,
Formula One.
Miami
You
Grand
see
Prix, Grand
the
Prix.
tennis. You
Yep,
see the
the Miami Open.
concerts. You see he's brought attraction to Miami to a whole new level. That's official. But now he needs the big dog of all of it to win. He didn't care about money. Ross doesn't care about profiting right now with the Dolphins. He wants that trophy and to say in his legacy, I was the owner that brought it after 50 years of nothing. He does. And that's big for people like him. Billionaires, when they buy a team, it's their little toy, and they looking at all them other billionaires like, yeah, that's their
That
level of
ego.
competition. Yeah, they
That
want it
ego.
all. They ain't worried. I mean, he's made all the money he needs to make. That's not an issue. He wants the Super Bowl, so I understand all the moves he's been trying to make, even if they aren't ethically the best way of going about, allegedly. But you gotta commend him for that as an owner. But
Talk
a
about
lot of
trying
things have
everything.
not gone our way, but we still made the best out of it in the situation. I mean, this is the best out of the situation we can get
Yeah.
because it's what we have. And if it doesn't work, a lot of this stuff will die down next year, and they going bananas next off season.
Oh, this is, and I think that, which is kind of I don't want to say unfair because in my family, the word fair doesn't exist. You get what you get and you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not,
Let me
I don't want to say equal either, but go ahead, T. Go ahead.
let me spice it up real quick.
Go ahead, spicy sauce. It's nighttime. It's the after hour. Let's do it.
Here's something nobody's thinking about either. That could be a plan on the big board in the Miami Dolphins offices, in the upper offices, right? There's scenarios where mid-season at the trade deadline, if we're at a specific place and certain other teams are at a specific place, triggers could be pulled. Triggers could be pulled. Let me give you an
Breaking
example.
news, people, ladies and gentlemen, you
No.
heard it tonight here on the After
Oh,
Hours show. Clip
no.
it, people. Clip it, please. Clip it. Okay? 'Cause I don't know how to do it yet.
Let me give you an example. Jolie. We're 3-5. And Tua's struggling.
That's the next thing we're going over.
And Baltimore's 3-5. And Lamar isn't. Scenarios like that, they can make the trade. They can make a trade. They really could.
So you're telling me that after we play Baltimore, and I'm hoping we win, but realistically speaking, having them bring pretty much everybody back.
Well, I'm saying that I'm saying in a scenario where we're losing games because our quarterback is struggling, but we still got a chance, and an unexpected team isn't doing well at all, like Tampa Bay, or
shocked.
Yeah, like Tampa Bay or Baltimore, which we will be shocked, right? They should be doing well, right?
Yeah.
But in the event that they don't, those are all the parameters to where a trigger could be pulled. Because it's beneficial for both teams.
Oof. Dude, I mean, you're saying 3-5, right? It's the scenario you said?
Yeah, we're losing. We have a losing record coming in the halfway of the season, and basically to make the playoffs, we got to be almost perfect.
Pretty much.
Maybe just one more loss or something. They'll pull the trigger. If the opportunity presents itself, they'll go ahead and right then and there go get one of those guys, if it was ever available. It's very unlikely because those other two teams should still be in position to compete. But we've seen things happen. I mean, imagine a year where the Bucs start 0-6. Ain't gonna happen, but imagine.
I was just gonna say.
Imagine a year.
0-6?
Yeah, imagine a year where Baltimore starts 1-7. Oh, it's gonna happen. If Baltimore started 1-7 and we're losing, it's happening.
1-7.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I know. You're saying it because of what if.
You don't look like you finna make the playoffs at all.
Like,
Your
1-7,
whole
you're not making the playoffs.
at that
Example,
point,
we didn't.
if they're 1-6 or 2-6 or 1-7, and Lamar says, I want to be traded to the Dolphins, it's gonna happen.
You think so?
If we're
But they don't
losing,
want to pay him.
it's going to happen if we're losing.
I just pulled it up real quick just because I had to. Because now that you're bringing this up, which actually that was the next segment that I wanted to talk about, the schedule and the what possible changes can happen. But I'm gonna pull it up while we're talking here. The Ravens, if the Ravens were to actually have, let me just share real quick so people can see it. There you go. Give it a minute. It's technical difficulties. But the Ravens having, let's see, is this better for you guys? I just want to make sure it's seeable. We can see it, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
keep going.
Okay. Well, there you go, people. If you can't see that, well, I can't help you. But yeah, them going to and what was it? You said for them to go like 2 and or.
All right, let me give you the
I can
example.
realistically see them losing to Buffalo
They won it.
and Cincinnati.
Yeah, they 1-0 to the Jets. We beat them and we're
Ravens.
one. Yeah, and we beat them. They're 1-1. New England beat them. They're 1-2. Buffalo beat them. They're 1-3. Bengals beat them. They're 1-4. They beat New York. They're 2-4. They lose to the Browns. 2-5. They lose to the Bucks. 2-6. Saints, I don't know, but regardless, we said 8 games. They could easily start 2-6 when you look at this schedule. They could easily start 2-6.
Yeah. 2-6. So you're telling me, and they have the bye week right before we do too, because our bye week is the 11th. So because we play Cleveland week 10. So, and then you're saying, well, I might as well pull it up. I have it up in my own sheet, but why not? Miami Dolphins. Yeah. To me, to see that right then and there, or is this? This is it, right? Yeah, it is. Come on. There it is. So to see for us then, because our first 8 games is New England, Baltimore, Bills,
we can be in a
Bengals,
similar
Jets,
situation.
Vikings.
We can be in a similar situation. I'm gonna be honest with you. We could actually start the season 1-5 and get our first win with the Jets. I know we're gonna all say we're gonna beat New England, but what I'm saying is, but I think and this is all predicated. Okay, we beat Baltimore too. But if you really look at the schedule, 8 games in, like I said, 3-5 could be a situation potentially.
Can I tell you something? My super realistic, like I haven't told anybody my wins and loss, but I'll give you the first 5 weeks. I have us 1-5. The first 6 weeks, sorry. The first 6 weeks, which Jets is the first win. We lose to Patriots, Baltimore, Bills, and Bengals. Sorry, the first 5. Yeah, so 1-4. Right? That would be 1-4. Actually, yeah.
If we lose those games, then it's likely we lose to Minnesota too. Then.
Yeah,
and listen, my hope is we beat the Patriots, we beat the Ravens, we lose the Buffalo, we lose the Cincy, we beat the Jets, we lose the Minnesota, we beat Pittsburgh. I'm just saying we could very well be a 3-5 team. When we looking up, that's a possibility. Here's my thing. You start the season before the bye because you got 10 games, right?
Yeah.
You can't even be 500 after 10 games in this NFL.
Nope, because we're not. We're 17 games now.
Because you'll need to go undefeated to get to 12. 12 is a safe spot. 11, you're hoping that you made it. We can't be 500 on the bye. We have to be above 500 by at least the game. 6-4.
And the thing is, realistically speaking, I don't want to say gimme games. I mean, games that I feel like are going to be the easiest on paper for us to win. It's literally Chicago because it's a rookie quarterback or second year quarterback, and Detroit. And even then, with Detroit, guys, I don't know if people realize this. Detroit literally had, I think it was 4 or 5 games that they lost, or it might have been 6 games, 3 points or less that literally could have swung the other way from them.
We ain't
And
losing to
they
Detroit.
were out here scoring 30, 40 points a game.
We ain't
And we
losing to
could
Detroit.
barely get to 20.
Well, I'll say this. Let me not say we ain't losing to Detroit because I would have sworn up and down we wouldn't losing to the Jags
I
last
was
year.
gonna call you out on that one.
I would have swore up and down we wouldn't. Ain't no way we losing to the Jags, and sure enough,
Oh God. And that's the thing. And now if the Ravens could realistically, just like you said, because look, their bye week is right after. If we want to even add, week 11 for them, for that, just to kind of keep it 10-10.
scroll down on their schedule for the bottom half.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Carolina, Jacksonville, Denver, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Atlanta, um, Pittsburgh,
So
and
they
then
got
Cincinnati.
the Bengals and the Denver Broncos, which are really tough games. Pittsburgh is in division, so they always play them tough. And the Browns, depending on how big is Watson's suspension. But
It should be back by then if he does get.
yeah,
And
and
then you
that's a
got
to be
Pittsburgh
determined
again,
game.
and then.
And they already got that game to be determined. So they already know that might be a big one for prime time. So that'll
Mhm.
be interesting.
And then to finish off with the number two
I had
team
to
in the
be.
league.
I don't know. They might listen, man. They might sit down with Watson and say, "Hey, do you want to be here next year or not? We can facilitate this much sooner." Because the only thing what Watson, I'm saying Watson, I meant Jackson,
I figured. That's why I
Lamar
chuckled.
Jackson. He's putting them in a real tough spot because if they could know ahead of time, it would be better for them.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's kind of like if you think about it, they'll be able to get more if they do it early enough because
Mhm.
teams will feel like, just like you said, oh, I have enough time that I can still make a push. You didn't hear a word I
Yeah,
just said. You
no,
didn't?
I did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so they're gonna feel like, oh, I can still make a push. So okay, I'm willing to give up these picks, or maybe take some of his contract or whatever, however they wanna, set it up. But if they do it too late and they try to wait till like at the end, I don't think that that last week, if he does get traded, it won't be by the trade deadline. I think it would be before. Um, Especially if they're not playing that good. But this is the thing. What if he's playing awesome, but the rest of the team is not doing
Yeah,
well?
but listen, Baltimore has to be wise about this because tell me a quarterback who has ever done what he's doing right now. Who's done what this man is doing right now? You have to be scared that he's going to leave, and here's why. Who is going to play without a big contract? Like, think about it. If he gets hurt this year, it's all gone.
Yeah.
If he tears an ACL or anything of that nature, his like what quarterback takes this type of chance? I have never seen a quarterback do this.
One got close, and once I say the name, you're gonna be like, okay, but then he still got the money.
Who is that?
Dak Prescott. He did play that fourth
No.
year. He played that fourth year.
Well, but you're forgetting something. They didn't want to give him the money. They didn't know if he was the guy. That wasn't Dak Prescott turning down money. Dallas said we're not offering yet because we don't know if he's the guy. They wanted to know in that fourth year whether he was going to be the guy. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, did they franchise tag him?
Did they?
I believe so. Let me look it
One
up.
year, I think they
Yeah,
might have franchise tagged him.
but that's even more proof. That's even more proof.
So
You
okay.
don't franchise tag or keep kicking it down the road on a guy that you believe in. They did not want to give Dak the big money. But then after his 2020, when he got hurt in 2020 in his supposedly proven season, they were head scratching. But you know what? They went ahead because they didn't have any other options. Remember, he was rumored to be get ready to be traded.
Yeah, he was, but the thing is, those first, I think he got, what week did he get injured? It was early too. I think it was like week 5,
Well,
I think, if
well,
I'm
let me
not
say,
mistaken.
okay. So remember, yeah, he did get hurt early.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the timeline with Dak Prescott, though. He played 3 years, right? And on his third season, he put up 3,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's pretty good. The yardage is a little lower than what you like, but the touchdown to interception ratio is good, but they'd also like more touchdowns. He played his fourth year without a deal because they didn't know. But in that fourth year, he put up 4,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 11 picks. They should have paid him, but the problem was now he's on his fifth year. And remember, Dak Prescott wasn't a fifth-year option guy because he wasn't a first-round pick. So they can't spread out all that big contract money. So they want to make sure he's the guy again before they commit long-term. They didn't want one season to be the reason. And they franchise tagged him in 2020. And he got paid, but that was on a year-by-year basis. And he put up 1,800 yards in a short amount of time, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And it was like, and remember, the big thing is y'all put him on the franchise tag. Now he got hurt. Y'all wrong for that, Dallas. And now he may be looking for a trade. See, players didn't want that. Dak didn't want that. Dak didn't say, I don't want your money. The team did in that situation. Lamar
Okay.
is doing
Fair.
something that nobody does. Lamar said, I don't want to talk to you about no contract. This is when any quarterback could be like, oh, yes, I made it. All right, now I get to talk about a contract, a big contract. He bypassing all that, like, screw that. I'll
What
talk to
about
y'all next
Kyler?
year.
What about Kyler?
Kyler's the same. Kyler won his now. Lamar is doing something nobody has ever done. But that should lead you to believe he just may not want to be there.
So you think that he's probably gonna ball out this year to
Yeah.
get to go to be a free agent, essentially?
Because they can franchise tag him.
They're gonna have to pay a lot of money.
Well, regardless, what do you think? You don't think Lamar Jackson's annual is going to be 50?
Of course it would be. That's my point.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't matter if you. Matter of fact, let me say this, Jolie. If you franchise tag him, it might be cheaper than paying him 50.
How does that work when you have the top guys making 45, 40, and isn't
It's the average. It's the average of the top three.
top 3 exactly? But
So
what's
it'll
his
be
name?
cheaper.
Mahomes. Mahomes is averaging. Isn't he averaging 51 this
Yeah,
upcoming season?
but when you take the top 3 and you average it out,
It'll be just
trust
under
me.
40.
Yeah,
50.
trust me when I tell you, it's going to be like 47 or something like that. So at the end of the day,
It's still cheaper.
It'll probably be cheaper to franchise tag him than sign him on a long term. But I just think he don't want to be there. Because why would you be doing this? Why would you be doing this?
Now, this is my thing, because you mentioned this earlier. If we're struggling like they're struggling, and we're looking into perhaps pulling that trigger, what level of Tua would we have to? Because there's one thing that I do want to talk to you about that I think is going to be, I call it a little controversial, but definitely about Tua. So remind me. But what level of Tua? Because if he just gives us the same Tua of last year, I don't think that's going to be enough for him to stay.
No, he's not going to give you the Tua last year.
But let's just say, bare minimum, he doesn't do worse or like overly better. He maybe gives you an extra 5% better than what he did last year, which is not a lot.
I see a 15 to 20% increase.
And that's great. I'm saying in this scenario, for us going 3-5 from what you said, and he's pretty much the same Tua from last year, that's when you say we would pull the trigger. Because if he's still
Well,
balling
so
out and we're going, if he's doing 295, um 2 touchdowns and maybe one interception, or 3 touchdowns and an interception, or 2 touchdowns and no interception, but he's balling out, protecting the ball, really kicking booty in those first 8 games. But then something happens, because I don't think it's going to be the defense. I don't know what happens that we end up not winning, those other 5 games.
let me tell you something. If they got an opportunity to pull the trigger on one of those elite guys, the only way Tua stays is if he's showing special traits, not just playing good football and helping in winning games. If an elite guy comes available, the only way that they don't move on is if he's showing special traits, like, oh my, he's winning games, he's pulling this team at times.
Right. We win because of him.
Here's what people need to understand about the dynamic of a Lamar Jackson in our system. If you're chasing Tyreek Hill deep,
I'm in the building.
Waddle going crazy in the intermediate, you got Gesicki, I want you to just think about this play right here. Tyreek on the left side of the formation out wide, running a go route, taking the safety and the corner with him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to do the math here. I want to do the math here. There's just look at it.
11 defensive players, four defensive linemen.
Yeah, 4 defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves you with 7 in the secondary. Okay? In a base defense in cover 2, just hypothetically, because a lot of teams gonna run cover 2.
2 safeties,
right?
Your 2 corners.
So you got 7 on 5. But really it's 7 on 6 because Lamar Jackson.
True.
So I want you to think about this in this system. Tyreek Hill goes on the go route on the outside.
Left or right? Because I'm literally writing this down.
Left side.
Okay, Tyreek.
You take the corner and the safety, gone. Okay?
Okay.
Waddle is wreaking havoc in crossing routes. So you taking his man and probably some help safety or help linebackers.
Left and right.
It doesn't even matter. You can put him on. It doesn't even matter.
You put him on the right.
You send Gesicki up the seam, and whoever started at the line of scrimmage with him, he's going to meet up with the other safety for help, or it's a one-on-one. At the end of the day, you'll eventually have everyone covered, but you will genuinely have no one covering the scariest guy,
Lamar.
Which is who? It ain't Tyreek in this situation. It's the one with the ball in his hand, which is Lamar Jackson. Lamar has never seen that situation yet. He rushes for pretty much 1,000 yards every season.
Mm-hmm.
With this talent, adding a Lamar Jackson, Lamar ain't got to throw more than 3,000 yards. Lamar Jackson could easily average 80 yards rushing a game.
God,
this man could rush for 1,600 yards if he wanted, having Tyreek and all them on the field. And if you leave a linebacker spying, you literally just got mismatches all day.
Because Gesicki's going to be eating in that middle.
Yeah, Gesicki would become a mismatch. Oh, do you want to stop doubling Tyreek? Then that's a mismatch. Then you want to stop sending help on the crosses with Waddle? Then that's a mismatch. Then the running back coming out of the backfield, pulling linebackers out of the open field. Mismatches all over the field, but you add the element of Lamar who can just kill you with his legs. Now I'll feel like we could beat Buffalo. Because that's the element in the Dolphins game that we have to be so much better in the regular run game, in the pass game, that we don't have that some of these great teams have. Is the ability for their quarterback to hold you accountable and eat you alive on the ground. Josh Allen, even if you shut him down in the air, he could still eat you alive on the ground. This is with Patrick Mahomes. He could still make moves and improvise and extend plays and pick up the first down. I'm telling you, do you know?
Sneak. They don't even have to worry about that.
And let me take it a step further for insanity. Do you know how bad some of these
Miss
elite?
Phins.
Why did I say insanity? Fitz, do you know how bad some of these elite quarterbacks would look if you took away their running ability?
Yeah,
And
pretty
you
bad.
forced them to stay in the pocket and the defense didn't have to worry about the threat of you running? Oh my gosh, we wouldn't be sitting here. Oh, he's elite. Oh, he's elite.
And the defense that stops Lamar is our defense because he's a
Man,
runner.
man, Lamar, the element of a Lamar Jackson in our system. Oh my gosh. I mean, just think about this. You send Waddle on the jet sweep. You got Tyreek running the reverse. You got Lamar with the handoff, and you doing all that on the same play. And you got some guys running slants. So like the defensive
And you still got
linebacker.
Mostert
Listen,
back there.
the linebackers would lose their mind. I want you to think about that on one play. Waddle coming down the line in motion.
I'm
You hike
looking
the
at it.
ball. You hike the ball. The defense already shifting just in case they hand off the jet sweep. But Tyreek coming around on the back end just in case. You got the handoff with Cedric Wilson up the middle, and you could pick anyone, not to mention the back end slant that you got going on, and then you got one guy in Jaceki hitting the seam. Like the linebackers would be like, man, I don't know what to follow. I don't know what to follow. I'm just gonna stand here. I'm tired of this. I don't know what to follow.
That would be crazy. Especially because
broke these headphones.
You got so excited on that play.
Man, for real, these linebackers would be like Waddle on the jet sweep. Oh, Tyreek on the reverse. Oh, Cedric coming up the middle. Oh my gosh.
And they're so fast that
you know, is somebody coming on the slant behind me? Jaceki just went up the seam. Like, man, where I'm supposed to go, coach?
Oh, it's so nasty.
Especially versus a cover two, whenever they're in there in the more zone base. What am I supposed to do? They handed it off. I need to pursue, but they didn't hand it off. Is they giving it to Tyreek? But Jaceki already gone. I'm telling you, it'll be nasty. But you ain't got to worry about that element with Tua, because anything he beats you on the ground with, you live with that. That ain't okay. You got you a 12-yard run. You only gonna get one of them every few weeks. No, I'm serious. That's how they look at it. They don't have any concern about Tua running the ball. So when he does get a run, it seems so miraculous because it's rare. That's the difference, man. You add up, man. I'm telling you, a Lamar Jackson in this system. I don't know. We would be hands down the most explosive offense in the NFL. Defenses would fear us every week.
We would be a Madden offense, essentially. Madden offense.
Easy. I mean, people need to understand that.
Look, and honestly, that's why I wrote it literally. Like I got it written. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know if you can see it or not. But like I literally was writing all of this down because just picturing that alone to me just really affirmed what you were saying about the possibilities we have if we had that type of quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jets fan for life. Thank you so much for joining me, Phins. And everybody else, real quick, just to reset. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, Phins. This has been awesome. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe. We're here, Miss Phins. Miss Phins. TD. Smoke and talk. TD can't say my name talk. And obviously Miss Phins.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, man. I'm just joshing you. But look, Jets fan for life actually asked a really good question. That's why I highlighted it. What would be your trade package for Lamar?
All right, I'll answer this one because I got only like 5 more minutes. So let me give it to him.
I gotta go this last thing too.
Based off of this, our current situation, my trade package for Lamar Jackson would be 2 first-round picks, Christian Wilkins, and that's it.
Okay,
that's
I thought you were gonna.
I may throw in a third. but 2 firsts, Christian Wilkins.
So next year's 2 firsts, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 2 firsts, Christian Wilkins. And if I have to get it done, a second.
To sweeten it.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna be able to pay Christian Wilkins for doggone show now. And I don't
No,
need
not to
to.
pay him because you know he's gonna want it.
And I won't need to anymore because we gonna have them offense scoring the most points in the NFL. And our defense is still gonna be good.
Honestly, yeah. That would really Smack Dollar. Look at Smack Dollar. He says Mike Gesicki, Tua, and a few draft picks. Really? Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
I mean, they may take Tua. I don't know. I don't think so. But if they took Tua, then I'm giving 2 firsts. No,
Tua will be the 3rd first.
I would still do 2 firsts, Christian and Tua.
Yeah.
They get a staple in Christian Wilkins. They get Tua Tagovailoa, a young quarterback who's accurate, right? Because they don't like getting outside threats anyway. They want to throw all the short passes anyway, so that fits for them. And then they'll have 2 first-round picks, so they ain't really got to rebuild. They could just go load up.
Yeah, and fix that offensive line too. So honestly, that wouldn't be a bad trade here, but that would be very interesting. We will be watching that. But before you go, because I know we both gotta go. But listen, I made this statement this week that Alabama Tua will never come back. We will never see Alabama Tua. Yes, people clip it. I don't care. Because it's a completely different. No, let me finish. And let me tell you why. Because it's a different body. You know what I mean? His body literally is different. So we will never see Alabama Tua again. However, that doesn't mean that he can't be as good or better. It just means that Alabama Tua, no. We're not going to see him again because, again, his physical body is different. Like, he's had to adjust. All of that takes time, clearly. So because of that, we're not going to see Alabama Tua. But we can still see something special, and it's all up to him. And that's pretty much where I kind of feel like, I know that you said you're kind of against it, but tell me why you think I'm wrong. Or do you understand my explanation? What I mean by that?
I hope you're wrong. I didn't say you were wrong. I actually agree with you, but time will tell. I just think that he's not the same guy anymore. He's trying to be. I mean, he's going to always maybe get better and better to get closer and closer to it, but to actually reach that exact form, I'm not sure. But let's not lose sight of the fact that even Alabama Tua had some issues that he never had to address because of what was around him. So,
which is another reason why I say we're not going to get Alabama Tua, but we can definitely get,
but we've done a good job trying to duplicate Alabama around them. So maybe it'll work. We'll see.
True. But listen, guys, this is another awesome episode 10, Miss Phins. As you can see, my name's literally right here and on top.
All right, Phins.
And we got really. I can't deal with you. Listen, this has been awesome. As you guys know, Miss Phins, Titty Phins Talk, weeknights, 8 p.m. We really do appreciate you guys coming over here on the Miss Phins channel. Now, I will say, guys, we need the subscriptions, guys. It helps out the channel. Titty, you tell them. Please, tell them.
Yeah, I don't know what people thinking, but y'all need to hit that like button and subscribe to Miss Phins right now. We're at 326 subs. We got to get to 350. I know we just added 2 more, so 328. We got to get to 350, man. If you're not subbed, make sure that you go sub and let your friends and family members know about it as well. And go share this video on Twitter and the rest of your social media. Because there's some great Dolphin content out here, but nobody will know if you don't let them know. So help us out and make sure that they know about Miss Phins, always putting the work in, and that amazing morning show as well.
Thank you, TD. So, guys, as per usual, thank you so much for joining Miss Phins tonight, the After Hours show, okay? And we will be seeing you guys later, all right? Bye-bye. I know, right? Every time I hear this, I want to drop Miss Phins. Bye-bye.
Hold on. It's time for a verse.
The everybody, go ahead.
Miss Phins, we about to win. We out of Oh, hold on. Let me go again. Beat some
Wait.
stuff on me. Hold on. Yeah. Miss Phins, we about to win. We all friends. Come to begin. Don't wear the. Oh man, I messed it up. I'll get it next time.
We gotta get it next time. But guys, sneak peek to my intro song, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We're having way too much fun here, guys. But you guys take care, and we'll see you guys next week. Okay? Bye bye.
Zach Thomas.